So this is Mark Borsman. We're in the bonus session for step number 5, the first step of phase 2, beginnings. And I'm having so much fun with this group. Like, this group is helping me, oh my gracious, so much. And so I want to thank you all. Like, you don't understand probably the impact you're having on me. The amount of things that I'm learning just blow my mind. I mean, seriously. I've never experienced anything like I've experienced with M&M. Just never experienced anything. Teresa, what would you like to accomplish today?
Morning. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So you mentioned about getting art buddies, and I'm working on that, and was wondering if you had any tips on, I don't know, I guess on, so you could get an art buddy to help them with their effort, but you mentioned getting art buddies for, like, your own cause. I think that's what you were hinting at, and getting people on board with your own project, and wondering if you had to sell that.
Sure. So what you're doing is it's like a fishery. So it's like a fishery. And so by including them in this, what you're doing is you're tapping in and building them to be stronger. So Phil and Howard are going to go ahead and be far stronger. If you try to start your own group, if you try to build your own people, it's going to be really, really hard. Like, really hard. Questions?
Why?
Well, one is the power of the group.
Oh, I think I misunderstood.
So the power of
So
the
you're
group,
saying,
the energy of the group, and then how to move that energy and bring that energy together is really, really critical. And so, I apologize, I'm not articulating this very well. Can anybody help me articulate it?
Would you say, Mark, that's the difference between the herd and the pack?
No, I don't think so. But maybe.
Like wolves will get together in a pack, and they'll strategize how to get their target, their best client. Whereas the herd just goes along, but then they drop out.
Interesting. Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
Well, I have a comment. Today is a huge day for me, and I've been collaborating with Phil and Howard on this, and you all helping me, and I got the cards printed, and I'm going to meet 100 businesses and talk to, there's going to be at least 1,000 people at this event. And I have one of the things that I'm trying to do, because I don't know anybody to get into my mini group, my mastermind group. So I'm looking for 12 businesses for the mini event today. I'm looking to get 5 BC an hour, and I think this is just going to be the most awesome experiment, because when I first did the biggest challenge, I just did it. And Mark reminded me yesterday, you guys, about just doing it. And when after that happened, Phil got his can. It was so awesome. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go to this event. I've never done anything like this before. I'm going to walk around. I need a little help making a badge that says volunteer researcher, which I'm going to wear. It's going to be big. And I'm just going to go around like interviewing people. And this Master and Monetize has inspired me so much. It's just incredible. And I just...
Does anybody have any questions for Robin?
I think that's awesome, Robin, with sharing your story. I was still wondering about where my thread of thought was going and if it could even help other people, too, along the way with what was sharing.
So, so I wish Lee was here, because Lee knows. So I was talking about, somebody else that's in the network with Avalinda and a few others, and I said they're just missing something. I don't know what they're missing. They're just, I don't know the word. And, but they're missing something. And Avalinda reflectively, she's just a reflex, she said, it's reverence, Mark. And so getting to people, Teresa, it's like if you plug them into something bigger than yourself, it's very hard to do something for just yourself. Like you're too far ahead of them, you're equal with them, you're too far behind them. There's a whole thing. And so Ski, do you have any input? What I'm trying to say?
I'm a little confused, actually, but when you mention reverence of what or who?
I revere Tom Kuntz.
Right.
Not very many people know how to revere somebody else.
Uh-huh. And so you're saying that you think that the problem is, or somebody mentioned the word reverence, you think reverence is the issue to what's preventing them from getting it?
Emily knows how to revere. Emily and Elise know how to revere me. Mm-hmm. But they don't know how to do it publicly. Avalinda knows how to do it publicly, but she does revere me publicly, but she doesn't know how to do it with me present, which I'm fine with. Lee, though, she knows how to revere me publicly with me there. And almost nobody knows how to do that. And so when you have somebody like Tom, who I revere, there's magic that happens between Tom and I instantly, because he reveres me. I don't know why, but he does. Like, he thinks the world of me. And I think the world of him. So when he and I come together, it's like crazy. And a lot of people who join a group, they're egomaniacs. They are aiming to take your position as a leader. They want to be you. Which is fine. I want them to be me. but they don't know how to create reverence. Because they don't know how to give reverence. I mean, they can give, so their egos get in the way. And so, like with Robin, like it's just like, I revere her. And other people And I think it's because people haven't been taught how to revere.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Can they be taught reverence?
They can.
So what's the next step for them?
Realize genius. Like every one of you,
That's not a step. I mean, that's a process, I think. But what's the step that you would? Because you're trying to instruct them now, right? That's the whole idea, to be able to learn how to revere somebody. So what would be a
right? How do you teach a blind person to see?
Well,
does anybody
Is that
know?
a question? Well, I was thinking of Peter Schmitz. He teaches them to run the triathlon. So he would be the good one to know. I can only relate it to being deaf. You have to teach them to plug in and become aware of their extrasensory perception, number one, because we all have it.
So,
the way we're so
translated what Robin's saying, and so Robin's struggling, like, Robin struggles with creating distractions for people.
Yes. Sorry.
So, does anybody know how what Robin was saying connected back into what Teresa was saying? Probably not. I do.
Mark, I have something for Teresa. I just didn't express it very well, and I apologize for that. When Mark had me do the biggest challenge, and he just told me to get 5 people, I just went and did it. But the thing is, I reverence people. And out of the people, the 105 people, they all seemed like to me, when I talked to them about their biggest challenge, almost like 98% wanted to be part of something larger than themselves. And I got that connection. You know, our mastermind groups, like what we're doing right now, our think tanks. And that, Teresa, was the thing that just made it so fun and so exciting to say to them. Not only I was, getting permission to get back to them, but saying, listen, this group I'm in, their goal is to get 1,000 think tanks, mastermind groups. These aren't like normal networking. Together to solve problems in our communities and to strengthen them. Can I get back to you and see if you would like to do that? And they're like, yes. And that is really how the Art Buddies came about for me with Phil and Howard, because I had been dripping on them in Facebook and social media. But I find, like, especially the millennials, there's a thirst, there's a hunger to be part of something bigger and greater than yourself and make a difference.
Does that help, Teresa, or not so much?
Yeah, it does. Thanks, Robin, for sharing that in your story.
So if it didn't connect, Teresa, would you say it?
Yeah, I think I would, but you were talking about that on another call. I think it connects into what you're talking about on Monday. So it resonates, yeah.
So it's important that if, like, a lot of times people, again, ego, a lot of times people don't understand and they say, yeah, I get it, yeah, that helps, and it doesn't help, like they're not connecting it. But they're like, well, I don't want the attention to be on me. It's not on you. It's that you're not connecting the dots. Trust me, there's other people that are live or listening to the rebroadcast. They're not connecting the dots either. And if they don't connect the dots, they're not going to make the breakthrough. So it's like it's okay to, no, that doesn't work for me. I don't get it. Now, Teresa's connecting, she's learning how to connect the dots. And so she can connect them better than the average person. So, somebody else might say, I don't get what Teresa was saying, how that connects with what Robin's saying. I mean, Robin is a gap jumper, and she jumps so many gaps, it's even hard for me to connect the dots sometimes with her. I'm like, is she even, like sometimes, and sometimes she doesn't pay attention to what's being, she's got her own, like, agenda. She's got her own mind is flowing so fast. She's got this idea, this idea, this idea, this idea. And so I want to give you all permission that if you don't get something, you say it. If something doesn't connect, you say it doesn't connect. There's no shame in that. Like, it's okay. Excellent. Ski, what would you like to accomplish?
Actually, somebody just mentioned Facebook groups, and the guy I'm co-authoring his book with suggested starting a Facebook group. And I think it's a good idea, but I'm not quite sure where it plugs into the process that we're going through. I'm trying to relate that, so if I can get any thoughts on,
Sure.
I think it's a good idea. I just
Sure.
want to make sure we're utilizing it properly.
Sure. On a relationship funnel, it's on Leverage the Course. There's going to be Facebook that's going to be integrated into the actual relationship funnel. And so these things here, so on this one here, Emily probably this week, we'll go ahead and put something in here where we'll have a Facebook group, and there'll be probably 2 Facebook groups. There'll be one that is internal, for the internal members only. So there's going to be a members only section for this. So there's things that only members that are part of the group that are going to gain access to. And then there's going to be an external. There's going to be an external group that's available to everybody. So here you have, testimonies from all of you. It's like, okay, there's testimonies for all of you. The Facebook, what it does is it gives it additional credibility. But the challenge, Ski, is that people don't know how to, by and large, most people, so Facebook is real. I mean, it's very real. And so that real may be good or it may be bad. And so when people are looking at the post, if they're not, written really well, it'll actually detract from your book. Does that make sense, Ski?
Yeah. So you pretty much have to be monitoring everything that's going on with the Facebook page regarding especially those external people.
Well, for me, I need to get, like, for us, this group, I'm not going to monitor anything. I'm going to teach all of you how to write really good copy. Because then I don't have to. The chances of anybody externally saying anything bad about the group is very slim. I mean, they're not experiencing it. What are they going to say? So it's not the external people you have to worry about. It's the internal people. And so
there would only be 2 of us doing this. I'm just wondering again how to leverage this idea to for promotion of the book and getting people engaged, and because again this would strictly be an outside thing. It's just the 2 of us putting content into the Facebook page, but trying to get people, recruit people and get them to share and all that.
Does anybody understand Ski's question and know what to share on that?
I'm not certain that, are you saying people can put content on your page? Because unless you set it up that way, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah. I think it's a matter of making, sharing things, comments. In other words, if we write something and we solicit some questions, some information by putting in some questions, people are going to respond. You would hope they would respond if you built an audience and getting them to share, and the more
Do
people
either of you know how to build an audience?
Well, you could each of us go out to our own individual groups and send out a Facebook invitation to join it.
Do you think that you guys have influence in your own? Do the people in your audience, do they listen to you?
Well, I don't know that one. I'd have to ask them.
I have a suggestion for you, Ski. I have a really dear friend who's extremely busy, but his name is Mark Shuey, and all of you should check this out. His name is Mark Shuey. He's been the Grandmaster, worldwide champion of cane mastery. He works with wounded veterans, and he started a Facebook group. His goal was to get 500, and in 90 days he got 5,000. I would go to his page. It's Mark Shuey Cane Master on Facebook. And you can tell him, that I sent you, Robin Benjamin. And we're Mark and I are working on bringing him into the tribe. I call it our tribe. But he has so much to offer, and he is completely unconscious about that. I mean, he's just amazing.
So does anybody know why that? I'm not saying for Ski not to do it. So people don't know how to listen. The amount of communication, the precision upon which I need to communicate to people is just crazy to me. Because when I say something, they're not listening. So what I'm going to say, people might say, well, Mark's saying, Ski, don't do what Robin's saying. But that's not what I'm saying, because I'm socially autistic. I'm direct. If I didn't want Ski to do what Robin would say, I'd say, Ski, don't do what Robin would say. Because most people aren't direct, they're always looking for innuendos and what are people really saying. I'm saying what I mean. So if Ski follows Robin's direction, will that help Ski? There's a high statistical probability, probably not.
Why is that?
It's so complicated.
Oh. Isn't everything?
Yes. That's why one-on-one coaching is so powerful. And so people spend all this money on all these, things, and they go through all these courses, and they come away learning a whole bunch of stuff and not knowing anything. They don't know how it applies. So veterans are very different. That audience, wounded veterans, are very different than the audience Ski has or that I have. If you ask me, Mark, do the people in your world listen to you? What would I say?
No.
I wouldn't say, well, I don't know. I'll have to ask them. I already know the answer. They don't. They don't listen to me. They won't. A prophet's never honored in their own country.
Right.
Now, they may go ahead and feign it. They may give you an obligatory, look over something, but they don't. The ability to go out to the masses and get people that are strangers to draw them in. And so people, there's all this internet success and the get rich quick and how somebody did this and this and this. And you said it good. Mark Shuey doesn't know. He can't transfer it to Ski because he doesn't know. Well, it's something having to do with martial arts, and it's something having to do with veterans, and it's something having to do with wounded, and it has something to do with, elderly defending themselves. And so he's got all of this emotional power. He's got all of this emotional power that Ski doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ski doesn't have the exact power.
His is unique power.
And so Ski, any idea, what you have, your sphere, probably the most passionate thing of all the groups that you're part of? So you're part of multiple groups. What group that you're a part of do you probably have the most passion, the most passionate group of people you know? Any ideas?
The most passionate group that I'm part of?
Yep.
I would say that's a tough one because,
let's take a look at first. Let's break it down and look at your groups, okay? Yeah. So you're part of the mortgage industry. That's a group, right?
Right.
You are also part of a church group, right?
Right.
What other groups do you have?
I'm pretty boring. I think I have a lot of friends that are in other things outside that. The groups, though, are mortgage, church, lacrosse.
What other groups are your friends a part of?
Well, my daughter's part of rescue, animal rescue.
Okay. So Tom's wife, Donna, Tom Kuntz's wife, is big into animal rescue.
Cool.
So, of the groups that you're a part of, Ski, which group is the most passionate?
Well, again, I would have to say that depends on the people you're talking to. Passion is with the individual, not with the group.
That's not entirely true.
Well, you're going to find people in every group that have a lot of passion. You're going to have people that are Zippo. But if you're in my group,
what you've just said is true. What you struggle to understand is you struggle to understand energy as a group, the analytic. The analytic trips up so many times because they're so fixated on the little details they can't see the big picture. Does anybody have any ideas of the groups?
Well,
go ahead.
Well, then to answer your question, the lacrosse group would be the
lacrosse.
Yeah,
without question. I don't think I've ever met a lacrosse player that's not passionate. It's like a cult. I mean, and they're connected, and it's unbelievable the passions they have. So there's going to be, I actually woke up this morning, that's where it's weird. I woke up this morning, and there's going to be a website, there's going to be a funnel that's going to, a relationship funnel, and it's going to be named lacrosse .dna4success.com. So Robin's got all these groups. She's got churches and veterans and Hispanic and the black community, African American. She's got elderly. She's got prison. She's got all of these groups that are. So when somebody's surrounded, look for people's passions. And passions surround often around hurt or healing. So lacrosse does something to people. I'm not sure what it does, but it does something. And so it's very, very powerful. So tapping into that community and then looking within that community on what can you bring to that community that creates momentum. Does that help, Ski?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I hadn't thought about the lacrosse angle. I was really coming from the mortgage side.
Sure.
Probably, but.
Sure. And mortgage people, are they passionate?
Some.
Yeah.
Some are
that. Yeah, some are so passionate, like Marv Stocker, he's passionate, right?
Right.
He's passionate. So yeah, there's some that are really passionate, and then some are So it's overall, it's yeah. Are Christians passionate? Yeah. I mean, some are oh my gracious, like, and then others are like, meh. But the global, like, you can have like a global pulse. And so, you know, people in the Black Lives Matter, are they passionate? Yeah. The Me Too? Yeah. Lacrosse? Yeah. Veterans?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No?
Wounded veterans? Yeah.
Yes.
And so if Robin's around wounded veterans, you know, if she's wounded warriors, if she's around that, she's going to think all veterans are passionate. They're not. I mean, I can't tell you how many veterans I know. They're not passionate. They're not passionate about veterans. But wounded warriors, if you've been wounded, you're passionate because it's a life-changing event.
Right.
You know, and so...
The name Wounded Warriors is passionate.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Kevin, what would you like to accomplish? Phil, anything you'd like to accomplish?
Well, I'm going to work on getting 10 more.
So the magic, Phil, is in telling your story, is you got to help people recognize you're an average to below average guy and you're 83 years old. For crying out loud, you don't have the energy you did when you were in your 20s. You got to make it to where people go ahead and are inspired by you and say, if Phil can do it, I can do it. You got to be able to share, and even you can make it up. Like, I had all these fears and all these thoughts, like I'm 83, who wants to talk to me, and I don't have energy, and there's been so many things that I didn't try. You need to connect with people where they're at, and you need to come bring out all your fears and acknowledge them. And even if they're not there, it's okay. My international speaking coach, Linda Breakall, said, you know, everything you say as a speaker doesn't have to be true. I still struggle with it, but you're feeling their energy, and so that's where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm feeling their energy, so you've got to come up with a story. You can't make it look too easy. Like I just did it, because they'll write you off. They'll say, oh, you're like Robin. Like, I can never be Robin. Like, I can't be Robin. So any success that Robin has, it doesn't have the impact, because people are like, I'm not Robin. Any success that I have, or Tom Coons has, they write off. They're like, well, I can't be Mark. I can't be Tom. Like, so our success doesn't matter. So it's that next generation that we bring in. They're looking to that next generation. So my two art buddies, they're two art buddies. It's that next generation. That's what they're looking for. And so Peter and Ski are, in my opinion, could be wrong, in my opinion, Peter and Ski are too many dimensions above other people. They inspire people without question. And they're eloquent, and they articulate, and they're motivational, and they're inspirational without question. They are. But they're too many. They're going to help people. They're not going to heal people until they learn to go ahead and see the gaps that they have between their audience, and then be able to create an infrastructure, community, a system with technology and all the other pieces that connect all of these pieces together. And so there's things that Ski can bring, or Robin can bring, or Phil, or Melissa, or Kevin, or Emily, or Elise, or Tom, or Peter. Like, there's things that each one of you bring that I don't have. And that's what makes it so powerful. That somehow, through whatever, somehow I've learned how to bring all of these energies together. But until art, I didn't know how to ripple them. And I'm just learning that. So I can build a group up to 20 or 30, and then all of a sudden build them up, and then they kind of fade away. And then I build them up, and they fade away. And then I build them up, and then I fade away. And I'm like, okay, I can build up. Most people can't build up 20 or 30. Most people can't even build up 2. So when you learn how to bring 2 on, and so what Robin went ahead and learned today is I was able to help Phil and Howard and Robin. So I'm teaching Robin how to help the next ripple. And that's invaluable. And I don't know if you can read that in a book. I don't know if you can go to that in a seminar. I don't know if you can learn that in any type of course. I wonder if it's almost just has to be there. Like you have to experience it. And what I look forward to is when each one of you, where you just invite me in as a guest and I say nothing. Like I say nothing. I just there and I just sit back in awe of each one of you leading a group and moving it and moving people, leveraging situations, helping people to do things they have never done in their life. That is the ultimate, like for me, joy to be able to see that. Anyone else have anything else?
Mark, the key words for me
Yes.
was when you put out the little email and said, Robin is trusting the system. That put it together for me for that moment, and it encouraged me so much. I wanted you to know that because I didn't know there was a system the first time I did it. And so now I see today, when I go out there, it's okay. I don't have to follow up individually. Let's say I get 20 today. I know I have a team behind me now that I can make appointments, help them make appointments to do the 30-minute strategy because I'm still not finished with the certification. And now I know those people are going to be taken care of because I do trust the integrity. But I didn't get it until you said it.
Cool. So the one word before we finish up, I keep forgetting to do that. I apologize. The one word for today for you, Robin, would be what?
Trust.
Phil, one word for you?
I'm excited.
Nice. Ski, one word for you? You're on mute if you're talking. Emily, one word for you?
Interesting.
Kevin, one word for you? Melissa, one word for you?
Interesting.
Nice. Melissa, one word for you?
Enthralling.
Nice. All right. You guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye.